Hi guys, Peter Finch here and welcome down to my weekly Quest for 350 video. And as you can see, I am not at the driving range today. I unfortunately had a little bit of an accident yesterday. I basically turned around to grab some shower gel in the shower, tweaked something in my neck. I couldn't sleep much last night and today the pain is quite sore in my neck and in my back down the left side. So just a really frustrating little injury to pick up, but I can't swing a golf club. So what I'm doing, I'm going to Dubai in a couple of weeks, so I'm resisting the urge to pick up a club and start swinging, just rest and relax it and be fit for Dubai because I'm playing so much out there, so much organised out there, I can't really afford not to actually get out there and play. So what I'm going to be doing is a little bit of a difference this week, and over the next few weeks I'll be doing a lot more kind of short game stuff because I'll be able to hold the putter and chip, hopefully. This week's Quest for 350, what I'm basically going to be doing is taking some of the longest drivers on tour, having a little breakdown of their swing, having a look through their techniques, and seeing if there is anything I can implement into my game. So even though I'm a little bit injured, I still want to use my time wisely and pick up some really kind of unique insights and tips off these top guys that I can implement into my game, and hopefully that you guys can take into yours as well. So the guys I've picked out to analyse, Rory McIlroy, simply because pound for pound, he is probably the longest hitter on tour just because of his size, his stature, and how much club head speed, how much ball speed, how much distance he manages to get out of the ball is quite remarkable. So it'd be a miss to not look at his swing. I'm going to avoid players like Bubba Watson because he is so unique that copying aspects of his technique will be pointless, especially for me, because one of the things he does so much is a lot of leg work, especially lifting the heel on the way back, planting in and spinning. Those type of things I've tried and I can't implement them into my game, so there's not much point copying something so unique as Bubba Watson. But the players I've also picked out, Gary Woodland, who has been a consistently long hitter on tour for a number of years now, and also Brooks Koepka, who broke through last year at the Turkish Airlines Open, and of course won the Phoenix Airlines Open, the Phoenix Open this year. So some really interesting swings, some really unique moves that hopefully I can take into my game, and hopefully you'll find interesting as well. Let's switch over to my analysis software now. We'll have a look through their swings, and then we will round back and we will have a little bit of a roundup.
Right, so we've got Brooks Koepka here, and he's one of the kind of young, exciting players on tour at the moment. He's kind of breakthrough year last year at the Turkish Airlines Open was pretty damn awesome, really. Kind of beat Poulter with a final day charge. This year he's ranked third on the 2015 PGA Tour stats in driving distance, average at 308. 54% accuracy on that as well, so he's hitting over half the fairways whilst absolutely bombing it out there at the same time. And there's a lot of similarities actually between the movements that Brooks and Rory McIlroy make through impact, and that's really what I want to focus on today. Now, pretty solid setup. I'm pretty sure here that Brooks is setting off for a little bit more of a draw, the way he's kind of angled his shoulders a little bit on the close side. I could be wrong, but that's what I think he's doing. Takeaway nice and wide. So it's a good wide solid takeaway. Big wide position at the top. It's from here where the magic is happening, so to speak, because on this downswing there's a couple of key movements that I really like and I really want to try and build into my game for big distance. First of all, the weight moves downwards but also left, so it's effectively a little bit of a squat down into this hip here, so sitting down into the left side with the hips. Now what this does, it gets the weight transferring over, it gets the body moving in the correct motion, so it gets the lower body firing, and then it'll get the upper body kind of coming along for the ride. So that body sits down into the left hip whilst the hips stay back. It's important that as that weight goes down into the left side, it doesn't move forwards towards the ball. If the hips came forwards towards the ball, that could throw the club out over the top. Well, it could do many things, but it could throw the club out over the top, and that's going to sacrifice the angle of attack onto the ball, hitting up onto the ball and getting the maximum amount of distance. Now what this also allows Brooks to do is, by keeping the hips back, it allows the club to drop on a much more inside path and just an incredible amount of lag to be built up here, between the actual arms, the wrist angle and the shaft. So there's a lot of potential energy being stored here. Now through impact, here is a really good position as well. The left shoulder, you see, has risen up, and the right shoulder has stayed very, very low. Now this is all to do with getting on a much more of an inside path and delivering an upward strike onto the actual shot. And again, it's a very powerful move. And whereas the weight has gone down into the left side, as you can see through impact here, that left leg is now straightening, the left side is clearing, and it's just delivering that massive punch of power onto the shot. So overall, a very, very powerful action. That full turn, that squat left into the left side, massive amounts of lag, right shoulder nice and low with that club travelling on an inside path, and then that massive extension upwards down towards the target. So a super duper technique, and as you'll see in a moment, very reminiscent to what Rory has going on. So we've got Rory from face on here. I couldn't find a really explosive kind of driver shot of decent quality, but I just wanted to show you this one because it kind of really demonstrates the move that I'm really talking about, and the move that I really want to work into my game. It's from the top of the backswing, it's moving the weight downwards and left. So actively that little bit of a squat, but it's also transferring the weight over onto the left side. And you can really see quite vividly here in this image, in this video. Look at that transfer there. That weight driving down and left, head dipping, but then through impact, that left leg straightening, allowing the hips to clear. But also just look at the amount of lag there and everything else. It is just an amazing actual golf swing. And then through impact, one thing you couldn't quite see with Brooks's kind of down the line swing, after that squat down, that movement left, getting all the sequence in order, so the hips and the lower half moving first, the upper body moving along for the ride afterwards, is although that lag and all that energy is stored up, the actual release through the ball is incredible as well. Look at the extension there of those arms. Now that's just showing through impact. Those arms are really extending out, and all that lag which is being stored up is being absolutely released. So lastly, we've got Gary Woodland here with the driver. Now, something slightly different I wanted to kind of pick up on Gary Woodland's swing here, and something which I can hopefully kind of continue to take into my game as I go forward. Because one thing I've noticed when I've been trying to implement moves into my swing to increase club head speed, my accuracy has suffered because my actual timing has suffered. I've not always been able to find the actual centre of the club face. Now what Gary Woodland does very, very, very well in his swing is get everything moving in a fantastic sequence. So we get up to the top of his swing here. I mean, the backswing's it's fantastic actually. I mean, the club there in front of the hands with that down the line view, which is pretty much in a textbook position. Hands rise up, club gets set, left arm across the shoulder line, hips haven't turned much in the backswing. It's a very, very athletic backswing. But the one thing which I really want to take into this is look at this on the downswing. The lower body starts to turn, the upper body just turns afterwards, but everything is moving in sync. Everything moves together, everything extends outwards, and it's all done with just a lovely, lovely tempo as well. That's the one thing which I don't think Gary Woodland gets quite enough credit for, because everyone knows he's a big hit, everyone knows he's technically got a very, very good swing. But one thing which is fantastic about it is it's full of tempo. The lower half turning, extending, and releasing.
So guys, hope you enjoyed those swing analysis. Some really interesting stuff to take from there. I mean, especially Rory's move through the ball. That is something I'd really definitely want to bring and take into my game if at all possible. It's something I've done over the last few weeks. Mixed success. I've definitely not kind of cracked the code yet. So it should be interesting over the next few weeks to see if I can start to implement that, if my body allows it, which hopefully it will do in the next week or so. But I will try and have a go at those kind of different techniques. I will keep you updated with how they're going. And I will see you next week, hopefully a little bit fitter and a little bit able. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. And I'll see you all next time.